Have you been in the second floor women's restroom? Really, you too? That story's probably more interesting than mine. Now at 46th Avenida Menendez is Harry's Restaurant, some of the best seafood on the bay, as well as the home of my next door, Miss Catalina de Porras. Now, Catalina de Porras lived here in St. Augustine in 1763 when the British came.
Oh, man, that British.
I'm Cuban, so I'm a little jaded too. Yeah. Now, Catalina and her entire family were kicked out of her childhood home and sent back to Havana, Cuba. Now, being only 10 years old, Miss Catalina did not understand why she rooms. Snuffed out candles often relight and fireplaces extinguish on their own. The strong scent of perfume wafts through the air with no one moving. Now, one woman was in the second floor women's restroom washing her hands at the glass, but a strange presence behind her. Now, she brushed it off as a public restroom till she looked back in the mirror and saw a set of eyes staring back at her. Now, this is supposed to be the most haunted room because this was Miss Catalina's original bedroom. So many amateur ghost hunters and this man have gone into that second floor women's restroom, taking photos of themselves in the glass. Or at least that's what he told me. One or two have seen Miss Catalina standing behind their shoulder. Now she is joined 100 years later by a male figure, and we know it is not her husband because he appears in late Victorian clothing. He's thought to be a man in the house when it was a boarding home, and the building burned down in the late 1900s. He, gone with the wind style, still walks down the grand staircase, through the main dining room, and disappears. Lost a family on my list. We are going right inside, ladies and gentlemen.
Grab my thing.
I wish we were able to do our own EVPs.
I know, right?
Huh?
I know, right?
Ask her. Maybe she'll want
She ain't. You ask her.
Come on now. Get me with my butt. Yeah. I know I'm gonna need her.
Okay, guys, we're going into the jail.
Okay. All right. We are in the old jail. Yes, we just entered the jail. The kitchen.
There's the jail,
Mine's right here,
guys.
Jess. Grab it.
What?
It's right in that pocket, right?
Oh, God, you scared me.
Now do me a favor, do not go in your jail cells. You're welcome to film him.
Just right here?
Yeah,
I'm not
there. Make sure it's safe.
I don't feel it. In the little?
Yeah.
There is a jail cell. Look at the chains on the floor.
Welcome to solitary confinement. Now feel free to take photos from the doorways of my solitary confinement cells. But please do not go in my cells. They built a basement in Florida and the bunks are very low, so if you fall and hit something, you can go to Florida Hospital. You get even a paper cut.
4 beds and 11 people slept in here, guys. Look at them beds. That's awful.
You are welcome to all
Glad I never went to jail.
Holding space, making room for everyone. Oh shoot! Awesome. Feel free to come all the way in space. I gotta go lock the front door, okay? When I come back, I'll tell you the story about that man that Kodak used to write down.
This one's the same. Wow.
What
The
hell's that?
Good! That takes care of her! Now we can be alone!
Alright.
Well, slap me thrice upside down and give me to my mama. How you all doing?
Alright.
My name's Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Well, I'm glad one person has manners. Let's try it again. My name's Charlie. I don't know why you want to come in here unless someone dragged you, especially at night. But now that girl brought you in here, I think I just might get my revenge. Ha! I know I'm only kidding. You see, every time that motor-mouthed Peter Pan talking history folk come in here, they miss the finest parts about this place. So tonight, on behalf of me and my boon companions, I'm gonna tell you about all 8 of our hangings, so you get to know us personally. Start with this little madman right over here. I see you all notice the big Kodiak picture on the wall? That there is Sim Jackson himself, right before he swung, right in the middle with the flowers. And that there is the sheriff, old Joseph Perry, another madman. And old Joseph Perry didn't like it when someone snapped a Kodiak picture right in the middle of his hanging. Of course, most people don't think Sims deserve flowers or the Kodiak picture after what he did to his wife. They got into an argument. It turned into a nasty fight. We don't know who struck first, but we know Sim struck last. He shut her up real quick, took a straight razor and went hacking at her throat, got stuck in her collarbone, and he couldn't yank it out. A couple of neighbors came in, found Sims lifting his wife's body with her head hanging by a thread.
Oh my
what
God.
a bloody mess. His final wish at his execution was to speechify it to the crowd. Must have been about 500 people there. He went on making a grand fuss. Told everybody he'd meet them all in heaven. You wouldn't believe what happened next. A couple of brain doctors came down from up north, wanted to perform an experiment during the hanging. Sounded kind of sick to me. They wanted Sims to wiggle his fingers as long as he could while he was hanging there. They dropped that door, Sim went on wiggling, them doctors getting all excited. They wanted to see how long it was before he lost his conscious mind. Well, Sim went on wiggling for 11 minutes, and it was all of 30 before he gave up living and they pronounced him officially dead. How do you think it feels hanging there for all that time, with your body slowly dying and your being fighting for your last ounce of air? Well, in case you've never been hung before, I'm going to tell you what it's like. First of all, they make you build the death trap yourself. Then once it's built, you gotta gap at them dang gallows because they're right outside your window for a month before your number comes up. On the day of your hanging, they bind your hands together real tight because they feared you're gonna run off or do something wild. They take precautions by having extra guns standing around pointing at you to make sure you're gonna drop. And if you're lucky enough, you say something grandiose to the crowd. Of course, some people just don't say nothing. And Steve Johnson, he just said to a friend, "Bring my boots to my wife, 'cause she can't afford to bury me." Them boots never got there. Steve's friend just didn't have the heart to tell him what his wife really thought of him. Nothing much. Them boots is upstairs. What are you looking at my feet for? You think I got them on? That'd be sick. You don't believe me? I'll show them to you. Come on, everybody upstairs now. Now nobody go dilly-dally down here alone, because if the home don't get you, the rat surely will. Come on.
I felt like something tried to grab my camera.
Mine too, push my camera down.
My ABC started going off.
Something pushed mine down
And I
too.
was, right when he was over here, and then that's why I got started when he slammed down.
Okay guys, something pushed my camera down. That was creepy. That was really creepy.
It was going all over. Oh, I didn't even.
It felt like something tried to push my camera down, Angie.
That's weird, Mom. Didn't want you to film.
I know. Okay guys, we are going up the stairs.
Those seats are for sitting. Fill those seats up. Move all the way down. 2 steps coming down. 2 steps coming down.
Where are we at?
Move right in, move right in.
Going in the jail? He's gonna shut us in here.
Move right in, move right in.
Lit up by a car.
What did?
All right, as I said, do not go in those cells on the side. You can stand at the doorway with the flashy things. All right. Coming for the head of the table. Now here they are, just like I told you. Now Steve Johnson knew he was guilty, and the state was justified in doing what they did. That's why his wife wanted nothing to do with him, killing them people. It's why old Steve had nothing to say at the time of his hanging. Now, the 2 fellas that hung with him, oh, they sure had a lot to say. Their names were Eugene Baxter and Tom White. It was a triple hanging on May 31st, 1912, the last time St. Augustine ever saw a hanging. I guess when 3 bodies dropped all together at once, the town kind of lost their stomachs for hangings. Those men brutally attacked a local Jacksonville store owner named Isaac Silverstein and his family. Those murderers left their bruised and battered bodies for dead, and then requested to be hung here in St. Augustine with old Steve, on account they knew their sentence would be carried out quicker. You see, these men knew what jail time was like in these parts, and they deserved what they got. Even though Tom was whining, "Oh, if I hadn't been friends with Eugene, this whole thing never ever would have happened." Now I'm going to tell you about a man you'll be glad you never meet in the middle of the night. His name was George Hawkins. Hawkins was a man who liked to live in the shadows, jumping in and out of the light. He had a dark mind.
We just got locked in, guys.
Yeah, we did. He shut us in. It's really cold right now. All kinds of stuff on and the cold. The cold, it went away.
Hawkins followed him out of town, ducking behind trees, waiting for the moment to strike. He jumped up on his wagon, and he cut that peddler from neck to navel.
Ooh.
But he wasn't done yet. He reached inside and pulled the man's insides out.
Oh, gross.
Then he used the man's own wagon to cart those remains out into the middle of the woods. He thought he'd get away with it, he did. But he didn't take into account. Lord, snap that rope. I would sprawl and awaken a crowd right where you're standing. Everybody was running around. Sheriff Barry said, give me a rope, give me a rope. I moaned. My neck was broken in two. I knew by the time they got another noose, I'd be dead. Finally, my time here has come to an end. What's that? Sheriff Barry, no! You're not hanging me again! Not again! Not every night! No! 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 No!
Oh my goodness, is everybody okay? I'm so sorry, I went to go check up Miss Addison and then I got locked out! Our trolley is here though, so please watch your head and step and follow us!
Okay, guys, I missed it. My camera, my SD card got full, so I missed the story. Be sure to check the story out on Angie's channel, Jennifer's channel, and Jessie's channel. Oh, God, bright. What the heck? Okay, guys, I missed it. My card was full, so that was the jail. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Love you.
People to contact about that. You could spend the night filmed to your heart's content. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have anything questionable about anything on your camera roll, do feel free to ask me. I literally get paid to know about ghosts. In addition, if you feel a little left out, feel free to visit that Ghost and Graystones book, as well as our website and our Facebook page, where we have actual haunts from both of our locations this evening. Now, I do have a little bit of bad news for you guys. This is my very last story. Everybody say, oh. You like me. You really like me.
Hey, can we stop at Dunkin'?
I wish they're closed right now. McDonald's is 24 hours. Just right across the street from the Welcome Center. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my last story is about a very brave warrior by the name of Osceola. Now, in 1837, Osceola and his men were fighting with the United States in a war known as the Second Seminole War. Now, a truce was rumored to be offered, so Osceola decided it was time to end the bloodshed by marching up to Castillo de San Marcos, where it was revealed that there was no such truce. Osceola and his men were thrown into jail inside the fort, where Osceola became very ill. Now, he was given a local physician by the name of Dr. Frederick Wheaton, and Dr. Wheaton was well regarded, so no one thought it was strange when he requested Osceola move to Fort Moultrie, South Carolina, where Osceola died of malaria.
I thought that was her place.
Now, here's where the story takes a turn for the bizarre. Dr. Wheaton requested to be alone with the body before burial, and while there, he placed down his medical bag, took out his sharpest surgical knife, and began removing the head of Osceola from his body. He covered the deed with a ceremonial scarf until the funeral the next day. After the funeral, he once again requested to be alone with his dear friend, and while there, he removed the head from the coffin, placed it in his medical bag, and Osceola was buried with none the wiser. When Dr. Wheaton returned to St. Augustine, he placed that head in a jar on display on his desk, never revealing its true source. His patients were often too polite to ask where the head had come from. Now, it is often rumored that Dr. Wheaton's children were some of the best behaved in town. This could be due to the fact Dr. Wheaton used to place the head on the children's nightstand, send them to bed for the evening, and lock them in. Now, he must have wanted well-behaved grandchildren as well, because when his eldest daughter got married in 1863, he gifted her the head as a wedding present.
God.
She promptly got rid of the head by donating it to a medical sanitarium in upstate New York, which burned down 3 years later. Now, many of the artifacts were recovered, but the head of Osceola never was. In fact, it is still missing to this very day. That could explain why we get reports of a man in Native American garb by Arcasiudes and Marcos late at night. It is rumored what Dr. Reedy did was sever the soul from the body of Osceola, forcing Osceola's spirit to wander eternally. Some say Dr. Reed knew exactly what he was doing. See, he had brothers and cousins who fought in the First Seminole War and were cut down by the brave warrior's hand. Maybe Dr. Reed is getting his final revenge on Osceola to this very day. The end.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that tour of the jail. I can't believe my SD card got completely full and I missed the part about the hangings. But I believe Angie got some of it, Jennifer and Jessie got some of it. So, I hope you enjoyed the night and we're done. I gotta pee and they're closed. So we gotta go somewhere and find a bathroom and I will see you guys on the next video. Love you. Bye.